Welcome back. All of the info is at the end of the video and some tips and secrets. Welcome back, Divine Feminine. We're here to do your update, and yes, we do have some updates at the end of this video, which does explain a new star sign subscription that is online, as well as where to find the link for the extension. Now, as we move into the month of March, wow, what a month. Now, there are a lot of changes, and really within Divine Feminine's life and her energy source, we have gone through the retrogrades of both Venus and Mercury. We also have the North Node of Taurus there. And for Divine Feminine, that has been a pretty hectic challenge. Similar to Divine Masculines, because they were in the South Node for 18 months from last year and beyond. And now we're really set to take this new tone and moving forward. And I feel with the cards, they're really showing both heart and crown chakra of dreams coming true. And I feel the importance is going to be there for us to be very clear on our intentions, especially moving into the new moon in Pisces, of what we directly want out of our life. And I'll read the card. I am smart. I am open to learning something new. I am organized. And yes, very much in a structural sense of things. We're having to restructure. We're really having to look at our values that we did, view when we were in the retrograde. And I feel now that we know what we want, we're really going to move, we're going to be like Muhammad Ali. That was the one tone that was coming through from last month, moving into the month of March, is to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. So I think really, with this clearing, it's about having clear, conscious thoughts, and from a manifestation point of view within your own life. Reducing the mind chatter is all to do with being very directional, very intentional about what you want. Maintain courage and self-confidence. And that might have been hard because we did have the full moon in Leo, which is to do with the inner child and courage. And so, yes, it's only natural that we were maybe quite perplexed and feeling quite confused about what that action was going to be and where we had power in those areas. Recognize your own intelligence. Ease with problem solving. When we know where the problem is, it's a process of elimination. A, the circle of concern of where we have the power in the circumstance, and B, shifting the focus onto those areas and eliminating the mind chatter as to what is out of our control. Now, I feel there was this pause. So I do feel within Divine Feminine's life, you had gone through a lot of changes. And it was really like we were stuck in a portal between the past and the present. Maybe feeling piggy in the middle of a situation, but really feeling this fretfulness, this anxiety that we had to choose the left or right. But it was really asking us to come back to that centered energy of self. Our circle of concern, what we directly could address inside of our lives, and really shifting the focus off potentially for a moment Divine Masculine and into the critical areas of what brings us to our bliss. And I do feel maybe in your connection you did feel left or right. Maybe it was more than likely direct situations that were amplifying this, but definitely from a heart-centered energy moving into the new moon of Pisces, I do feel there's forward movement. I feel that it was like, almost like a standoff in the frequency, both in the 5D and the 3D, with the red flag flying. I'm hearing this term, it's almost like both parties maybe needed some help in their life, maybe felt as though things were a little bit tough. You're trying to, in the heart of the matter, especially because it was a heart chakra activation, we're trying to be rational. How do we balance our life out? How do we, in the heart sense, have empathy and understanding, but also what are we needing in the heart of hearts to bring this justice about? So I feel you're trying to get your balance back in your life, but you're also, you're open to a connection providing it's coming in the fashion of a high octane. And it doesn't have to be that it's perfect, but it does need to be that the give and take is there and it's not a one-sided transaction. I do feel for some of you, you could be thinking about where love is going. This can be an opportunity this month where Divine Masculine can come towards Divine Feminine, but you generally find in that transitional field is that you do have other suitors that are quite attracted to you simultaneously. And generally, you're not feeling so great yourself. You're just quite focused on your alignment and the things you need to do. But I'm noticing the 41 on the card, which is the 1-400, and I do feel with the spiritual connection, it can be humanizing it, but also looking at the needs that you need inside this connection. I do feel for some of you, you know, at a foundational level, you feel something has to give. And I feel that circumstance can be the pressure that we put on ourselves, really feeling again that there's external pressures, and that really with your threshold of tolerance, maybe, you empathize and understand. And again, that Pisces octane in the new moon can bring about things that are really positive and dreamlike, but it's also depending on the demeanor. We're going to get both octanes, and it's going to be in the house of Jupiter. So we're going to get both Neptune and Pisces, and Jupiter and Pisces is going to show two polarities in society, is the positive and the negative, the yin to the yang, right? So very twin flame path. The yin to the yang is to be practical in the circumstance, but it's also not to shy a blind eye away from something that maybe needs a little bit more time or needs addressing. I feel, you know, the pressure of the clock ticking, and it can be because it's going to be all systems go this month, and it is really important that we don't forget our compass of the things we need to achieve. And I do feel, feminines, you guys are going to be quite busy and social this month. So really manage your schedule. But also, I feel because you will be quite busy, it's almost, you know, we're dropping the attachment of that. Things are moving very quickly. And it's because of that direct reason where we're redirecting our focus that this connection is coming back into balance. The one certainty I can see very, very dominantly coming through in this reading is Divine Feminine knows exactly what she wants and she's not budging. I do feel if the give and take isn't there, there can be this logic of, you know, wanting to get your bliss back, but actually raising your vibration and knowing what your self-worth is. That doesn't mean we can change what another person does, but it actually does to a degree, because it means if we are looking at it as a no-brainer and a no deal, then you 9 times out of 10 don't tend to attract it, and it won't trigger you point blank zero. I don't feel you're willing to move hell and high water anymore. I feel you're really needing it to be on an equal, you know, equal give and take. And I do feel you're starting to really look outside the box in a sense of other areas in life that were lacking to actually fill that cup. And there can be an excitement that does come through in Divine Feminine's life in the next 2 weeks, especially in the month of March. So coming to the edge, it's almost like for some, if there was a karmic energy, which we have karmic updates, come through and have a look at those. They are weekly. It's like Divine Feminine is saying, look, you know, if there's another person in the mix, I'm not interested. You don't want that drama. You want that cycle closed out. You don't want to get dragged into a situation. And you won't budge unless that's so. So, you know, many of you are seeing it from a different perspective. You don't want complications in your life. You need simplicity. I do feel there's an offer of love coming. But the question mark over your head at the moment is, are we going left or are we going right? And I feel at the heart of it, there could be a conversation that plays out. Let's have a look. Yep, I'm seeing blue. Okay, yeah, I feel it's direct, but we do need to be really mindful with Neptune and Pisces and Jupiter and Pisces. We can be expressing our emotions. We can be saying, look, this is something that is driving me a little bit batty. I need some transparency in this situation. This is, you know, what steps are we directly going to take to have this movement forward? Some of you can be, I'm seeing a phone bell ringing. Some of you can be receiving a text message. But again, I do feel this person is testing the waters to see whether you're open to communication. For some, it can be they're looking at your social media. And I did really say and see from the channelings that with Divine Masculine, you know, last month's reads moving into this month's, there is this ascension process going on inside their lives, and there can be this tension point. So not necessarily is it a negative thing, but you can find that they can be very tired this week. So, you know, keep that in mind when dealing with this individual. I feel if you're just very direct, not so much in a dictatorship, but just look, this is what I'm needing. I feel it'll actually go fine. From my experience in twin flame path, 9 times out of 10, when you're redirecting and renegotiating that communication style, you may get drawn to believe initially that, oh my gosh, you know, I've said something, they've taken it out of context, gee, this is going pear-shaped. Try not to worry about that too much, because 9 times out of 10 from my experience, they sit with it for about 2 weeks, and if you don't push and you have made a statement and it's not forceful, it's just matter of fact, 9 times out of 10 you will, you know, in about 1 to 2 weeks get communication, you'll have physical movement. I do feel this person is going to understand your point of view, providing it's coming from a space of talking from your own experience of what you need, not what you presume they feel, but more so in a factor of what you're seeing and what you're needing. It's a bit of a statement piece, and it's also putting the resume out to what you're requiring. And then if they want to buy the shop, they can go, okay, is this workable in the domain of my physical foundation of where I stand, or isn't it? Let's get into the extension and we'll see how they're directly dealing with it. Otherwise, I am live every Fridays, and for your in-depth star signs, I do have an update at the end of this video. They are being launched. It's a brand new service we're providing, and it will include twin flame memberships as well. So if you do want that added service, which will give you the monthly updates, how to navigate them, and also how to run a business, come through, have a look, and I'll see you next week. We do bring weekly content to you that does have extensions. If you need the link, it's directly below. Very separately, on a very exciting level, we have the Star Sign subscription being launched. It will be open before the end of the month and launched for March 2022. We also have the Twin Flame subscription. Now, both of these can be bought in duo, and with the duo packs and the higher levels, we do have the free guided meditation video and audio tracks, which are being added to. 2 extra channels, as I mentioned, lives during the week on Friday. Click the bell for the notification, and I'll see you on the other side for your star signs. For private sessions, my contacts are below.